Hi everyone, Extra Flaming here and welcome back to another YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, we are going to be doing our BBL 12 finals preview, and we are going to be making our predictions as to who I think can potentially go all the way and win the BBL 12 final. So before we go ahead, hop right into things, we need to know the 5 teams that are going to be competing in it. The first place Scorchers, the second place Sixers, the third place Renegades, the fourth place Thunder, and the fifth place Heat. And their ladder position order is going to have a massive say on how the finals go. So let's go ahead, hop right into things. Alright, so first of all, we need to go ahead and have a little look at the ladder. So obviously the Stars finished 8th, the Strikers finished 7th, and then the Hobart Hurricanes finished 6th despite having a chance to make the finals with their win against the Heat. The Heat snuck into finals with that no result in 5th. The Thunder, after their win against the Stars, finished 4th. The Renegades, after their win over the Strikers, which denied them finals, finished 3rd. And finally, the Renegades have made the finals after finishing bottom the past couple of seasons. And then obviously the two tops, we do know that these two sides are the two best sides in the competition. By a fair way, as you can see there, the gap is 7 points between the second place Sixers and the third place Renegades. And then the Scorchers finished on top with 22 points. And then the Sixers on 21 points in second. Obviously, with that clear gap. So you can see the two sides that you need to try and beat. They are very tough to beat. And beating them does mean a lot. Test stars as well, some of them are going to be available. Well, they're going to be available for these couple of games and maybe this one. I'm not quite sure about this one, but I don't think they'll be available for this one. But they will be available for these two games, the test stars. Although the Renegades don't really have any test stars anyway, except for Hanscom, who hasn't really been used throughout the tournament. So they should be okay on that front. Anyway, the Renegades, it's the other 4 teams that will probably be relying on their test stars more than the Renegades. So anyway, though, we're going to run through the finals fixture anyway. So starting off, going to hop right into our predictions in our preview. The Thunder play the Heat in the Eliminator. So if you don't know what the Eliminator is, the Eliminator is the 4th and the 5th team. It's going to be the Thunder and the Heat at Sydney Showground Stadium. And Sydney Showground Stadium, the Thunder have been alright there this year. I think that both sides are quite evenly weighted, and this should produce a pretty good contest. David Warner will be in this one, along with the likes of Swepson for the Heat, Renshaw for the Heat, Kawaja and Labuschagne for the Heat. So all their test stars are going to be in, and I feel like the Heat have been a much better side when all their test stars have been in their team. That is why they've been lifted from 7th all the way into a spot where they could have really been attacking the home knockout. Although despite a shaky loss to the Hurricanes, that's pushed them down to 5th, playing an away eliminator at the Gabba. It would have really helped. This is at Sydney Showground Stadium, though. My prediction is still the Heat. I feel like with their test stars, they are a better team. Both these sides did have a shaky last game with some real shaky chasers. But one of these sides is going to have to bounce back to form and win, and I see that side being the Brisbane Heat. So the Thunder eliminated, the Heat go through now to the knockouts, which we'll be touching on that one in just a minute. But next up is the qualifier, which is between the first and the second place team. The winner goes straight through to the grand final. The loser, just like AFL, gets a second chance in the Challenger. So again, if you lose this game, it's not out, but winning, there's high stakes on this one, because if you win, you host a home final, and either playing at Optus Stadium or the SCG, some very tough places to play are those grounds. So I feel like either one of these two sides in the grand final is going to be very tough to beat. So Scorchers and Sixers, both these sides have really great teams, but with their test stars, the Sixers have become a whole lot better. Although we did see the other night against the Hurricanes, when Steve Smith did get out, things did look a little bit shaky due to a very vulnerable lower order, which hasn't had a lot of time at the crease with batting. Their bowling is quite fine. They've got plenty of players that can get the job done with bowling, but batting would probably be my only concern based on how well Steve Smith has done. Nobody else has really been firing. Philippi, we know that he's been really poor in the past couple of games while Steve Smith has been there. The only other player that's really stepped up for mine has been Curtis Patterson as well. Everybody else has really been poor with the bat, which is probably not a bad thing for the Sixers, but with Steve Smith being out, if they win this or lose for future games, could be concerned. The Scorchers, in my opinion, have been the best side this year. They've been really tough to beat, especially at Optus Stadium, but really tough to beat anywhere, considering they've only had 3 losses I feel like in this game, home ground advantage could mean a lot. The Scorchers fans will get right behind them. I reckon the Scorchers are going to win this game, meaning the Sixers will lose, will go through the Challenger, and that'll be Steve Smith done for the tournament. So now we go to the next game, January 29th, which is going to be the knockout between the Renegades and the winner of the Eliminator, which I've predicted to be the Heat. So this is going to be the Renegades and the Heat at Marvel Stadium. And I feel like this one should be a decent game, but without their test stars, I feel like the Heat are going to have a really big hole in their batting. And I'm not quite sure who they're going to be able to send the responsibilities over to when there's no Renshaw, no Labuschagne, no Khawaja. That leaves 3 spots in their batting lineup, which I feel like the players that will come and replace them will not be anywhere near as good as what them guys are. And we see they can fall pretty quickly when they do lose their test stars anyway. So I feel like the Renegades will be able to win this game, going in with quite a simple team, quite the standard team they've had for most of the year. I think that's just going to offer a little bit more confidence to the Renegades, and they should be able to win and go through to the Challenger. So now in the Challenger we are here, and it's going to be the Sixers and the Renegades of the SCG, and it is a very tough place to play, is the SCG. Now, I think, look, the SCG is a tough place to play. The Renegades, I don't know if they're going to be any good there. I feel like the Sixers just win this one and go through the final. That's just my personal opinion. They win this one. I don't really need to talk a lot about this one. And now we go on to the final, which is going to be the Scorchers and the Sixers at Optus Stadium, a rematch of the qualifier. Now, if Steve Smith does get going in this game, I reckon the Sixers can really get through, but I feel like he's going to have an off game eventually, and I think it's going to come against the Perth Scorchers. We know that they've got fire hitters and big hitters all over the ground. We know if Hardy, Turner get going, they can be dangerous. Bancroft, Eskenazi's gotten going a couple of times as well. So I feel like they are a really strong side. So now we go Scorchers and Sixers in the grand final, rematch of last year's grand final. And I'm going to predict the Scorchers to win. In my opinion, best season of the year. If Steve Smith was playing in the grand final, I'd tip the Sixers, but he's not going to be playing in the grand final. He's in India. I think the Scorchers are going to win. And yeah, I reckon their key to winning this one, why I tipped him in the first place, is because I feel like Steve Smith's going to have an off game eventually. And yeah, I think this game will be his off game. Against the Scorchers. I feel like they've got a great bowling attack. Should be able to win that one. And yeah, my predicted premiers are the Perth Scorchers, and I didn't go out totally and go wild and say like the Heat or the Thunder or anything like that. I feel like the Scorchers have been the best side and the most comfortable side this year. Their net run rate's looking pretty as well, so I think they are the side that does deserve to win as well. I feel like they've got tons of good batters and tons of brilliant bowlers all around the grounds, and I feel like they're just a stacked and packed team. I feel like the Sixers' lower order batter vulnerability could really hurt them, especially if Steve Smith does get out again for a lower score, which I'm going to say he is. And then the other 3 sides, I just feel like are not even within touching distance of where these 2 sides are at. But my predicted premiers for 2023, well, the 2022-2023 Big Bash season BBL 12 are the Perth Scorchers. I think they'll just be too strong in the grand final. So those are my predictions. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. So you guys never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much. Bye everyone. Extra Flaming out.